Alrighty then, I wanted to do a follow-up on this old Kay Banjo. You know, when I was a young fella, I didn't think much of Kay instruments, but the more I mess around with them, the more I like them, the older I get. I like the feel of this neck, and I know it's not an expensive instrument, but I still like it. What I wound up doing to adjust this neck angle is I put a little strip of leather in there, and I took an old credit card and I cut it apart and slipped in there, and that gave me maybe about 1/8 of an inch, which allowed me to get the neck angle just right. I loosened the bolt inside and adjusted the little screw on the back, got it just about perfect. What happened to my tuning? I had this thing tuned up a while ago. Must have bumped into something with it. Let me tune a while and I'll play you a song on this baby. I must have retuned my banjo in my sleep and forgot about it, but anyway, I think she's good now. You know, it's not a real loud banjo. It could be louder. This little thing on the back actually muffles the sound more than improves it. But, you know, still it's a nice little banjo, and I'm happy I got a chance to play it. I'm going to take it back to church with me and give it back to its rightful owner here in a few days. So, glad y'all got to share that with me. Y'all have a nice day now. Keep out of trouble. Every so often someone will come along and they'll say, hey, I got this old banjo that's been in my closet forever, and I don't know if it's any good or not. Can you take a look at it and can you fix it? And they come up with something like this. This is actually a pretty sweet old banjo. It's an old Kay, made somewhere between the 60s and the 70s. This particular one has a little tin plate sound resonator on the back of it, which is kind of cool. Not a terribly expensive banjo in its day, but you know, it's pretty well made and all. And it's quite dirty, as you can tell, and dusty. It's got a little hole in the head here, but other than that, there's not much wrong with it. And most of the time, when a lot of times when people bring them to me, well, I can tell the neck could use a little alignment because the strings are really high, really out of tune. But you know, that's fixable. Usually, what I do, I start with the 4th string, and I get it in a place where it sounds about right, and then the 4th string fretted at the 5th fret. Should sound like the 3rd string open. And then I fret the 3rd string at the 4th fret, and that should sound like the 2nd string open. It does. And then I fret the 2nd string at the 3rd fret. That should sound like the 1st string open. And then the 1st string at the 5th fret should sound like the 5th string open. Okay, let's tighten them strings up a bit more. lid on strings, it could have been on there for 10 or 15 or 20 years. The string height is really high, but on these old banjos there's a little screw in the back of here. I believe I can go inside here and loosen the nut that's on the back of this neck and adjust that screw, and it will tilt that neck this way and that. It might let me slide it this way and that and retighten it. So I can easily readjust the neck. It does not appear to be warped or anything. I generally am not a big fan of new strings, but this one might can use a new string or two. They don't need much. Pretty cool old banjo. Glad I got a chance to play with it. I'll mess with it some more. Y'all have a nice day. Well, a guy I go to church with had this old Kay Banjo in his closet, and he dug it out and said, I think you could fix it. And basically all I did was clean it up, restrung it, and reset the neck. The neck was at a horrible angle. It's actually got a little hole here in the head, but it's not enough to hurt. In fact, it could be cool if you were in a bar room playing, you could take your cigarette and stick it in that hole and then play this while the cigarette smoked. That'd be cool. This thing has one of these funny looking shiny hubcaps on the back. I actually think it deadens the sound. Doesn't really help it any, but anyway. Let them strings stretch for a little while and then we'll try that again. That's pretty cool though. I think you'll be happy with that. Well, I think before I do anything else with this old banjo, I am going to see if I can't realign that neck. It's got, oh, I bet 1/4 of an inch of, distance between the neck and the string right down here. And this one has an adjuster screw in the back. I believe you take this back off of here, loosen the bolt that holds the neck so you can loosen that adjuster screw and adjust the neck. And before I even put strings on it or anything, I'm going to go ahead and adjust it. So we'll start off by popping this off of here. Yeah, it looks just about like I thought it would. It's got a little bolt here that I think I'm going to grab a wrench and loosen up. Now that I got that loose, I'm going to turn this screw and see what happens. I don't know if the screw will actually move the neck or... Well, yeah, it is moving the neck and it's making it farther away. So if we turn this screw clockwise,
turn it counterclockwise, it pulls it down. I don't know what kind of mechanism it's got inside there. Okay, here's what I figure. Turning that screw adjusts the neck slightly. It doesn't adjust it so much that you can overcome a ½ inch of string height. In order to do that, what you need to have is a little piece of something like a spacer between the neck and this banjo ring right here. Well, I've probably got just the thing. I have a tendency to save pieces of stuff that can come in handy for use on a banjo. And I think I've got a little skinny piece of leather that I can slip in there. I'm going to go ahead and loosen these strings up first. With the strings loose, I believe I can kind of crack that open so that, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a little crack that appears right in here, which is what I want. Because what I want to do is slip a little piece of material right down in there. So let me find something to put in there.
Now what I got here is an old vintage Kay Banjo. Is what I picked up at that antique shop. It's got an old banjo lesson book in it. See there? That's dated. This was 50 cents. And it's dated 1955. I'm guessing this banjo here is as old as that. This is a K. It is admittedly a cheap banjo, but and to be honest with you, it's almost exactly like the first banjo I ever had. The only difference between this one and that one is that one was wore out, the neck was warped, and instead of saying K, it said true tone or true value or something like that. But other than that, it's made exactly the same. This has an old two-piece bridge with the legs that go up and down as well as the body that goes across. It has a steel rod in the back. It has a little screw right here to adjust the neck, which I might do a little adjusting on it. I'm willing to bet these strings ain't been changed since 55. Got a rattly sort of sound.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. It's got all the original hardware on it. It's got all the nuts, bolts, screws. I'm guessing that's the original head. It's one of them plastic heads with the kind of rough, what do they call that? Frosted. It's a frosted plastic head. See, turning this screw may change the angle of that neck a little bit. Or it may not. Maybe you have to loosen the bolt. Probably do have to loosen the nut here for that to work. This is the cheapest of pots. It's an old pressed wood pot. Got quite a rough, rattly noise. By the way, it's an open back. A lot of these would have had the tone ring thing on them, and this one came, apparently, because it fits the case perfectly, came from the store as an open back banjo in '55, which is kind of interesting to me. A lot of old banjos that you find, because they were so popular, them banjos with the resonators, they all came with them. It's nice to know that this one didn't in '55. '55 was probably a time when the banjos, the banjos had gone through the transition, but from Earl Scruggs having introduced everybody to cloth to three-finger picking and all, but maybe this was a leftover from the old days of open back banjos. Could have been actually made that far back. There's some other paperwork in here, I think. I don't know what it says. Let's get it out. Oh, this is how to tighten the head on your banjo. How to adjust the fifth string peg. And it's hand typed. A piece of paper. Oh, the joy. This book was copyrighted in 1941. It was originally copyrighted in 1922 by the William J. Smith Music Company. Recopyrighted in '41. International copyright secured. Original rewrite in '49. And the last copyright was in '55. Made in the US of A. See what we got here. We got Skip to Maloo. We got On Top of Old Smoky. We got Billy Boy. Oh, where have you been? It's got these old-fashioned pictures. It's these old-fashioned pictures of a man, black and white man. He's playing that banjo. Oh, the joy. Yes, he is. And he's playing an open back banjo, too. At least in that picture. Yeah. How to tune without aid of a piano tuner. See right there. Shows one of them little air hearts you used to blow into. That's back before they electronified sound so that you could look at it on a battery-powered instrument. The rudiments of music. Students. It's necessary that students should be acquainted with the duration of musical notation. The relative value of notes is best shown by the following arrangements. Notes are divided into bars by single or double lines drawn across the stave. One line is placed after each bar. See, there's valuable information that you really don't need to know right there. Sharps and flats and naturals. See, all that's information you don't need to know for playing a banjo. But, that don't matter. Let's see here now. This is not written in tablature, which tablature is when they wrote music and they showed you what strings to hit with what fingers, like with a three-finger picking style. And that stuff didn't come along until after Earl Scruggs. Now keep in mind, this book was originally copyrighted, what was it, 20s, 30s, 40s, somewhere along in there. So when this book was written, people weren't playing Scruggs style because Earl Scruggs hadn't invented it yet. It does show the chords and such.
That's a little treasure right there. I tell you folks, sure is. I like this whole thing, the whole banjo, the nice original tailpiece, the neck, which is unmodified and poorly made as they would have been, being made by the Kay company in 50s, 55. You can see the grinder marks on the neck right there from where whoever worked this didn't do a real spiffy job, but he's getting paid by the hour, and they wasn't paying him to do high quality work. My fingernail's a little too long. They play better if I shorten them up because it's hard to hit the strings with my fingernails in the way, but I'll just rough out a little song anyway. Also notice there's no marks on the head. Now if you play Scruggs style, your head, this surface is going to be all dirtied up and scratched off here. If you play claw hammer, it's going to have that here. This has no marks on the head whatsoever, which means that this banjo's never really been played. Just think about it. This banjo was probably made around 55-ish. It could have been 56, could have been 60, but a long time ago. Never been played. Spotless head, almost spotless. Let me go get a fingernail clipper. I'll clip off some of these long fingernail claws I got, and then we'll see if we can play that a little better. Charlie, you stay right there. Oh yeah, I forgot. I need my crush. Yeah, I forgot all about my leg till I went to get up. Dang. Ouch. I'm just going to leave y'all running. It's easier than cutting you off and getting you going again. Got that. If your fingernail's real long and you go to fret the frets, they'll dig into your fretboard instead of having your fingers mash the strings, and makes you not be able to play good. Plus they get in the way of my other hand when I'm playing the strings. I play it with the back of my fingernails if they're too long. They get in the way. Now some people lengthen their fingernails. I know a guy that fiberglasses his fingernails to make them longer, and he plays them like he's playing with a back leg pick or something. I don't do that. I play mine with short fingernails, and I don't play them with no picks. I don't believe in picks. I believe picks are a tool of the devil. I believe they'll lead you astray, cause your teeth fall out, and give you cancer. So I advise people that they're playing with fingernail picks to cut it out while they're still young enough to not suffer the ill effects on into their old age. Because once you get old, if you've been playing with finger picks, that's done had a bad effect on you. You go insane. That's why there's so many crazy old banjo pictures in the world, because they done lost their minds from playing with finger picks all them years. People don't realize the dangers of playing Scruggs style banjo with finger picks. I'm just saying. That's much better. Much better.
good crispy sound. That's what I call that. It's a good crispy sound. And it's got that chop 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 sound when your fingers hit that. There's a chop chop sound, which you get with some banjos, which I like. That's the sound I like to hear. These old rusty strings. I say rusty. Now they've been in that case. It may not actually be terribly rusty, even though they're very old. Yeah, but them old strings contribute to that a lot too. It's a good little lightweight banjo. This would be an easy banjo to carry around. The neck appears to be just right straight, which is awesome. And a little bit unusual for a banjo of this age. I can't play too much of that song right there because that's copyrighted, so we don't go any further than that, okay? We'll just stop right there. Picture driving a 55 Chevy and hearing that on the radio. Hear them little bells ringing. much music they put in this banjo in 1955, and it's never been played yet. Do you realize that there is a whole host of unheard music in this banjo for me to unloosen and set free?